Hi everyone, it's NonnaGrace, and I'm from Western New York. You know, I had a thought in my head, and I tell my husband I should have wrote that thought down, because every time I come to do my video, it's like, what was it that I thought about that would make a great topic? Then I thought to myself, now this is not good, but this is good. Bob always has good topics, and I feel like I want to steal his topic again. He talked about restaurants. Bob, I hope you don't mind I do this, but you do have great topics. You resonate with me, and it brings back memories of things that I remember, but a little bit different. Well, anyways, he talked about being in a restaurant and there was a noisy child, and he took it upon himself to confront the family, and he got a standing ovation from the rest of the customers, because apparently this little person was really bothering everybody, but nobody dared say anything. Well, when we would go out to a restaurant, we would distract the kids completely, or we would just avoid going this direction, because they had never been to McDonald's, and I didn't want them to go to a McDonald's. So we would direct them to look somewhere else, or we'd say, oh, look at that, or look at this, and they wouldn't realize we even passed by. They had no clue that McDonald's even existed. We would always go to a sit down, wait for your waitress kind of restaurant. Well, before we'd get into the restaurant, we always said to the kids, now you have to behave. If you don't behave, we will leave. Well, I'm sure they didn't think we really meant it. But this one time we were out, I think it was just Jessica and Michael at the time. And they were, I think, about 3 and 4 years old. Well, Jessica was a lively little child. She would do, she was always, you never knew what she was going to be like. And then there was Michael, who was very quiet, very calm acting. He was a very well-behaved young man. Well, we'd get into the restaurant and no sooner get seated, and Jessica would start with her nonsense. And we would give her one warning. Now remember, you misbehave, we're going to leave. She would continue. So before the waitress even got to our table, we picked ourselves back up, went back out to the van, because we drove a van at the time, and got in it, and Michael starts to cry. He says, but I was a good boy. And I says, yes, you were a good boy, but your sister wasn't. So we can't stay. She didn't want to listen. She wasn't going to behave, and we don't want to disturb the other people. So then it was maybe a week or two before we decided to go out to eat again. And before we went in the restaurant, we warned them that they had to be good. And Michael looks at Jessica and he says, and I will be good. And in other words, he wanted her to be good too. He wanted to make sure she was going to be good. Well, we got in there. She sat like an angel. He sat like an angel. And we got to eat in the restaurant. So parents that are listening to this that have young children, whatever you say, you must carry through. Because if you don't carry through, they'll just figure, she didn't do it last time, she's not going to do it this time. And it's true. And when we had the foster children, if we did something that was special, I mean really special, or if I let them do something that was not typically the thing that they would be allowed to do, I used to remind them, now this is a one time only. I don't want you to come back to me and say, well, you let me do it yesterday or let me do it last week. Because it's just this time only, because they seem to not get the picture. They thought if they did it once, they could do it all the time. No. And also, kids will want to bargain with you. I guess this is turning into a parenting thing.
Sounds like
I guess it's a parenting tips. Kids will want to bargain with you. They will say, if you let me go, now this was the bargain that I used to get all the time. If you let me go to town, I'll do the dishes tomorrow, for sure. No, you do the dishes tonight, and then we'll think about whether you go to town. You have to do for me first, and then I will maybe let you do, because every time that you let them do what they want to do, the next day will come, they're not going to do it, and there's nothing to make them do it. So you might as well just, if they want to bargain with you, You have them do what you would like them to do first. If they can do that, then they can go. If not, don't even consider it. Don't even think you're going to be going. And also in babies, now going bedtime. Bedtime can be a real pain in the neck. Bedtime is, I'm sure a lot of homes have difficulty with this. You tell your little one to go to bed, and they say, and then they're up 2 seconds later, I need a drink of water, or they have to go potty again. And so you make sure that they go potty before, and they say, I don't have to go. How many times I heard that? I don't have to go. Well, try, because you're not getting back up to go again. So you'd have them sit on the potty and try. And then you better get your drink of water, because you're not going to get a drink later. Well, I'm not thirsty. Well, you better get your drink of water and take it up with you then, because we're not coming back later for it. So they would sometimes bring their little sippy cup, because it had to be in a sippy cup, because if it tipped over, oh my goodness, what a mess. So they would bring their cup up, and they would have gone potty. So now they're supposed to stay in bed. How many kids don't stay in bed? They start to make a lot of commotion, and they get back up, and they don't want to stay in bed. Well, what you do is you send them back to bed, and they're going to scream and carry on and cry, and you wait about 10 minutes. Peek in, make sure they're okay. Oh yeah, they're just making a bunch of noise. So then you close the door, and you wait, and eventually they will cry for another 10 minutes. Now wait 12 minutes or 15 minutes, because now they think you're coming at 10 minutes. You're not coming. And so then wait again. When it's quiet, you look again. And if they're quiet, you'd be surprised. It only takes 3 nights of them complaining. By the 3rd night, they don't even complain. They just go right to bed, and they do everything they're supposed to do. They get their drink of water, they go potty, and they go right to sleep. It takes 3 nights to stop them from their nonsense. But you've got to hang in there the 3 nights. If you don't hang in there the 3 nights, they've got your number. And they figure, well, we'll just scream a little louder and a little longer, because Mama's coming and Daddy's coming too. And they'll get their little way. You don't want that. So that's my talk for today. I hope I made sense to you, because sometimes I feel like I get ahead of my brain. I know what I'm talking about, but do you know what I'm talking about is what happens. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.